Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. It was nice here, nice and quiet anyway. Got some sun, so I was very happy. I ate mangoes and got sun, so anytime I'm eating mangoes and get sun, it is a fairly good day, a fairly good weekend. Let's get right to it. I want to start the week talking about perfect timing circumstances for a raw food diet. And basically how it's now or never. I do videos every day, so if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Then make sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This is going to be one I'm just going to be real, and I'm not going to hold back, and I'm not going to worry about saying the wrong thing, although I'm not about to get out there with any crazy stuff. But basically, I'm just going to tell it how it is today. Perfect timing, perfect circumstances for a raw food diet. This thought kind of came from, I was about to do another, seasonal type video about how we've come into the spring and we're going to only be getting warmer now and summer's just around the corner. There'll be a lot more fruit available. There'll be a lot more freshness available. The weather will be warmer. People will be able to get outside. Just the mood changes. So is this the perfect time to do a raw food diet? Yes, yes, yes. But it's always the perfect time to do it. It's always the perfect time to do it. Listen, once I started kind of rolling with the thought of what the video was going to be, the thoughts evolve and they go on, and I'm like, well, we do these videos. People that do YouTube videos on the raw food subject, and probably any number of subjects, it's the same mentality. Every time something comes, we all do a bunch of videos about now is the time, why not do it now? This is the perfect time, and it's all just kind of this moving, a shell act, a sleight of hand, just trying to divert people into thinking this is the perfect time, when there's never going to be a perfect time. There is never going to be perfect timing. There's never going to be perfect circumstances. And there's always, and this doesn't just relate to the food, it's anytime you're trying to change behavior, like certain things we do, it's hard to undo them. It's hard to just change that. So there's always going to be an excuse not to change your current behavior. I think back to drinking, there was always, well, I'll do it this time, or the smoking, well, I'll do it next week, or there's always some other time that's going to be a better time to do it. And there is never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be any better time than now. One thing I'll say before I even really dive too deep into this is so many people are stressing themselves out. And the biggest problem on this lifestyle is people who actually, okay, let me go ahead and preface by saying this. Yes, if you just really want to work hard at it and be very diligent, you can. It is possible, can and possible, note those two words, to do a raw food diet almost anywhere. But so many people are in places where it's really not all that practical, it's really not all that fun, it's not all that tasty to do it, and they put all this pressure on themselves, and everything boils down to this like being fully raw, and anything outside of fully raw is a failure. If you're looking at health, this lifestyle, whatever, is anything besides being 100% raw is a failure, and you always kind of get into this mindset, then you just don't get it right there. So number one, I'd say take some of the pressure off of yourself. Focus on the health and not on that fully raw label. But a lot of the stuff, I'm sorry, I've just gone through, okay, I've been in the States now since July of last year, so about the middle of July, so we're talking August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, coming up on 9 months here. Went through the fall, went through the winter. Now I'm in Alabama. It is not, crazy cold here for long periods of time, but it got quite cold here. We got down in the teens several times. We had a lot of sub-freezing weather here. And the thing I find out is most people that are watching this, unless you're out in the wilderness somewhere, and then I don't know, why you would be watching a video, most people have heat in their house like I do here. That's bullshit. This whole thing about the cold weather and raw food is bull, you know what. I'm sorry. I put on a hoodie. I ate ice cream on some of the coldest mornings of the year this year. It's just, you keep your body warm. You know, when I'm in this house, my body gets just as warm in the summer because we have the central air conditioning on. So that's a mental thing. And I mentioned this in a video not fairly recently, is I think the hardest part, now this part is a little bit more valid than the actual feeling of the cold weather and you can't eat certain things. I can't have ice cream, I can't have smoothies. And smoothies, by the way, I make all mine room temperature, so there's no reason a smoothie wouldn't work in the winter, but that's neither here nor there. But what I'm trying to get at is probably the hardest thing. What's harder than the actual cold for most people in this time of the year is just the lack of availability of the food. But even that, you know, it took me a while. It took me a while. When I was first here, I didn't know all the tricks. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know I didn't know this little place might have something. You know, I found the Asian markets. Now that I've been here for 9 months, I would say, and I'm not in what you would consider a place that's totally friendly for this lifestyle, but I'm in South Alabama, and I've pretty much been able to get fruit throughout since I've been here, since last July. I went through a good period of moondrop grapes, mangoes. There was a very brief period where I wasn't able to get mangoes, but other than that, I've gotten spectacular mangoes the whole time I'm here. So where was I going with that? Oh, there can be lack of availability of fruit, but sometimes you just got to dig a little bit more. I've had people reach out to me and they live in cities. And me, living in a tiny town, not even close to a major city, Pensacola is the closest thing to a city. I tell people living in cities, they're astounded when they're like, oh yeah, Asian markets. I've never checked out an Asian market. I'm like, dude, you're in a city. There's so much stuff you can get there. I've had jackfruit the last 2 days, really good jackfruit, first good jackfruit I've had. Been getting good oranges, good mangoes. The papayas so-so, I've had a few of those, but no, now is always going to be the time. And that's why I put now or never. Now, obviously, I've done videos like this before, and obviously, even though I'm saying now or never, and even though I believe in the message of this video thoroughly, oh yeah, sure, I'll probably be doing the same thing, coming towards the end of the year. I'll have to do like every other YouTuber and whatever and give the encouragement about, oh, we're at the end of the year, let's start a new year. And people will have an excuse of why they can't do it then. There's always going to be a chain of excuses if you choose to choose excuses. Always. Perfect time is never going to be there for anything. There's most likely never going to be a perfect time or perfect circumstances. There's always a perfect time. Now's the perfect time. Circumstances, nah, you're probably never going to line up and get the perfect circumstances where all the stars come together and, you know, everything's just right for this lifestyle. I don't know. You know, I try to think more and little tricks and things I can tell you, but yeah, if you it's now or never. Let's go back to now or never again. When spring, when warm weather comes, if you can, listen, we're just coming into warm weather. I think I probably said the same thing last year, but I'm going to finish off with this and I'll leave you with this. Warm weather coming. It's only going to get warmer. Now, I know some of you, and hey, some of you are probably like, screw you, it's cold as hell up here, because I see some snowstorms in the north part of the U.S., but you know what I mean. It is coming, and it is only going to get warmer, and you've probably got a couple of little hiccups left of cold weather, but it's getting warmer and warmer. So, you decide during the warm season that you're going to get set into this raw food diet, into this raw vegan lifestyle during the warm weather. You get solid. You get solid in it during the warm weather. Then, when you've been doing this thing solid for 5-6 months of warm weather, then when that cooler weather comes, it's just a natural way of eating for you, and you will find a way to do it. You will find, like, even though you might be using the cold as an excuse, the winter as an excuse, there's other excuses. You're just labeling that as the one, but now is always the time. And honestly, I'm going to leave you with this. This might get into your head and bug you a little bit today. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. You're either going, you know, changing behavior is not always fun. I understand this. I work on a lot of different areas of my life. The food, it just seems to come pretty easy because it's just a choice. It's simple choices. I don't know. You can't see through my eyes. You can't know through my brain. I've seen what I've seen. I've had all the proof I need. So having some chips in this hand or having something, whatever, I'm just using an example that's really not a good choice versus fruit over here, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, and I'm always going to choose that fruit. And until you get this out of your system and stop making the bad choices, in other words, either do or don't do, as Yoda says. But now's the time, and probably if you don't do it now, you'll spin on till the end of the year, and then you'll have your New Year's resolutions. And already, what are we? We're in the second day of April, and everybody's already pretty much fallen off their New Year's resolutions for this year. Surprise, surprise. So anyhow, just a few thoughts to start the week. Hope you got something out of that. Hope I didn't ramble too much. I hate when I ramble too much on a Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.